Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Distant Worlds Universe, episode 46 for the series. Getting back into it after a little bit of a pause. I was so busy with the Dominions 4 multiplayer series as well as the Stellaris multiplayer series that I just haven't had a whole lot of time to play Distant Worlds Universe. But now we're back into it and we're ready to complete our mission. That mission being try and survive as long as we can, as well as acquire a really cool world destroyer, which is what we're working on down here now, and I believe we should still be the ones doing the construction on it. The game is still pretty laggy, as you can see, but we're seeing how long we can last for. So Guardian fleet's hanging out here, and we are the ships that are working on it, correct? Repair battleship. Okay, so we are the ones working on it. We got the ship right here, the Nimble Splendor, which is repairing the battleship. You can see that there is another ship here that seems to be waiting to work on it. We'll take a look at them in a second. But we found a source of Yaris marble at the colony Wyuth Junction 2. So awesome. That'll give us some development bonuses and whatnot, which is always a plus. Ancient Guardians, we are pleased to allow your military ships to refuel. That's a big deal. As well as a couple gifts, which I'm always thankful to receive. So who is sitting here waiting? The Swift Venture. It's a construction ship of the Ortain Authority. 53,000 firepower, so they're not that powerful, but they do have a lot of systems. Look at all those systems. Wow. And they've got friends such as the Brachnis Federation and the Petcree Technocracy. Other than that, everybody else seems to hate them. How interesting. Everybody seems to hate me too, except for a couple people. Most of them are forced to like me because we have defense packs. Boy, even the Ancient Guardians they're delighted, but so we got a mutual defense pack back with them. That's good. Hey, we got a new intelligent agent. Awesome. Let's send him out to see if we can get him with some good skills. So we'll sort this. I believe that gives us 3. We're back to 3. That took long enough. We got one stealing research on volcanic colonization now. Why don't we put him on the same exact one? From the Your Authority? Sure, why not? So the Your Authority, we want to steal research, volcanic colonization, 1 year. And how are we looking for volcanic colonization? Okay, we haven't gotten any of it. Hopefully we will. We'd like to start colonizing a couple other planets at some point. Lots of retrofitting being completed, which is a good thing. I think there's other fleets that need to be retrofit. The only one that should have been retrofit is the first assault fleet. First defense fleet's retrofitting. Okay, they're retrofitting and nobody else is. So from the first heavy weapons fleet down, I still have a lot of retrofitting to do, which is fine. I gotta make sure I remember that. We should have colony ships getting ready to colonize. We do. Colonize planet Samov Ret 6. Okay. So we do have a colony ship going out and about here. We'll take a look at that planet. This is the planet we're about to colonize. It's an ocean planet with a quality of 62%. Nothing great, but we can always improve it over time. It's definitely worth getting on there. And construction ships also being retrofit, which is a pretty big deal. How are we on components? I didn't look for components built on this. What does that look like right now? So 44, we're still sitting at 44. This is going to be a long time before this gets anywhere. But we are still the ones working on it. I've got plenty of ships on standby. Construction ships, that is. I've actually got, I've got what, 3 here? And plus 1 off to the side. Why don't we take the 1 off to the side and start repairing some of these ships here? Mainly the reason being that I can break them down for research. I've mentioned that before, but I like to make sure I reiterate why I'm spending the resources and whatnot and the time to fix up some of these at this point in the game less technologically advanced ships. They're just not most of the time they have really good shields or really good weapons or something, but it's always the warp drives that are super behind with these ships that we find. They always tend to have really slow warp drives. So it's something that we're working on repairing so we can get any of the trade or the tech boosts from the other awesome components. Yeah, sick of your economy benefiting me. Pirates we constantly get pirates offering protection, but they don't actually ever do anything if we don't get the protection. That's been like the common theme across every game I've ever played. They're only like aggressive near the beginning, and then in the middle of the game they have a lot of empty threats, but they don't actually do anything. Not saying that they couldn't. We could actually take a look at the pirates. I don't think we've looked at them at all this game. There's not too many of them, but if you take a look, you'll see that some of them have a lot of firepower and some of them don't, like 332 or 1253. Okay, do any of these have any decent? 0. Okay, 19,000. That's the largest we've seen. Wow. That's the strongest. They're not even that bad. So basically just a game with weak pirates is what we've got right now. I mean, one of them literally had 0. How does a pirate faction have 0? I don't know. Maybe pirates are broken in this mod. But there we go. We finally got another planet colonized. Took long enough. And they're already rebelling against our rule. How typical. Well, they refuse to pay any taxes. Well, they're not paying any taxes, and they're only rebelling because they're tired of the Empire's wars. They're concerned about our Empire's poor reputation. Resource shortages are hampering the growth of our colony. This is typical. Typical stuff. Really, I should put some troops on here. We'll go ahead, though, and recruit 2 troops and just set them to be garrisoned here. So that way, we really should probably have more than 2. That way, if the planet does decide to do anything crazy, we're ready for it. I don't think that planets should start out with that negative modifier. I don't think they should have all those negative modifiers, such as like not being as developed or not having like certain resources. It just doesn't make sense that they start out with that, because then of course they're going to be angry. Of course they're not going to have the resources. They've been a planet for all of 10 seconds. It just makes no sense. This planet only has polymer on it, but hopefully we'll find some other resources the longer we own it. Lots of retrofitting still being completed. And I like keep popping in here and just checking. The last thing I want is a repeat of what happened last time, where I found out another empire had been working on it for a while. Ooh, who's attacking who? Alright, well, I'm fine with that. Even though these guys are not very good allies of me, I'm okay with them attacking construction ships over here. Why am I having a bunch of exploration ships show? Peace through strength, okay. Are these my exploration ships, and why are they all technically considered to be in this system? What is going on? Interesting. I'm not sure, but that can't be right. Wait, who's working on this? Is it me still? Repair battleship, okay. And 43 unbuilt. It's still going to be a while. I'm half tempted to move the game into a faster speed, but at the same time I know what happens when I do that. Actarian Coalition. I can't see anybody else, but I can see the Actarian Coalition. Who else can I see? These guys here? Or who? These guys. I must have like active sensor links or something with some of these empires. I'm seeing way too many ships on the screen. Is basically what it boils down to. Like, it looks like I can see everything that's going on in here, which makes no sense. I'm pretty sure I'm not even remotely close to being allies with these guys. The Harun-Cal Confederacy. Like, we've had a very rough relationship this entire game. At one point we were enemies, then we became friends for a little bit, then we became enemies. They've got trade sanctions against us. They don't like us. They don't like us at all. However, it still seems like I can see inside of there. Oh, it must be the Ancient Guardians that are... The Ancient Guardians have, like, bases all over the place. So that must be why I'm seeing so many ships everywhere is because I've got a defense pact and whatnot. I'm allies with the Ancient Guardians. Boy, this game's really dragging when it comes to this stuff going on. It's just really bogging down. I really don't know how much longer we can even push this game through before eventually it's unplayable. It always seems to recover, but it's rough. There's a lot going on. If I fast forward the game, I'm pretty sure things are just going to collapse. Just give it a try. Alright, it seems to be handling the faster speed. I'd really like to play the game at faster speeds. Just means more can happen quicker. Alright, so retrofitting. Still lots of retrofitting happening. I don't want to retrofit too many fleets at once because what happens is then we just don't have the resources to do it. So, more trade stations imposed. I'm going to go ahead private bases. The gas mining and mining stations in general just need an upgrade. It's been a long time since I've upgraded these. Probably a good 10 or so episodes, I'd say. So Mark III is fine. Basic things, I just like to put a little bit more armor. And a little bit more weapons, I think, is not a bad idea. Some more shields. Alright, what do we got for weapons? Firepower 536. These actually are pretty heavily equipped, I realize. Do they have any point defense? Because that would be where they were lacking if they didn't. They've got a little bit. Give them 2 more point defense. 2 more Epsilon torpedoes. Some ion cannons because they don't have any. Graviton beam. Alright. And we'll go ahead and add the life support that's needed. Wherever that might be. Life support. Just 1. Save that. Go over to the mining station. Mark III. A little bit more armor. Oh, what kind of reactors are these using? Power fusion reactor. Okay. We don't want everything to use a fusion reactor, but we'll let these guys use it for now. Some more point defense, some ion cannons. Ooh, ion defense. I didn't put that in the other one, but that's okay. We won't push the matter too much, I guess. Let's get some more life support. I'm not making these both the same. I'm just kind of throwing some random stuff on here, so it's not like I'm trying to deck these out to both be the same. Now we got to go ahead and upgrade at least some of those, or all of them. Oh, mining ships. We want mining stations. Let's do the gas mining stations. I don't believe they've been upgraded for quite some time. I see I got a bunch of them that are somewhat damaged. We'll go ahead and do the mining stations too. This is going to be this is going to eat up a lot of resources. Probably maybe not a good idea to do it during a massive retro fleet campaign going for my ships, but why can't you be? You need to be repaired. You need to be repaired. And who else? There's one more right here. Hopefully we'll see some construction ships go forward with that. Repair gas mining station. Repair gas. Okay, good. So they are heading out that way. Although they're going to grab some probably from down here, but that's alright. We're still a ways off from repairing that anyways. Although now going at 4x speeds, hopefully it'll be a little bit quicker. Wow, the great Bascara Hive, they haven't even been in the game. There are actually no Bascaras in the game, which is interesting because all of a sudden these guys jump out of nowhere into the game and they have 2300 firepower, so they're brand new. But there's no big empires of them. That's odd. I don't think I've ever seen something like that happen before, but it's happening because it just did, so. It's easy. Let's see. Retrofitting still going on. I don't want to retrofit anybody else because I know that that's going to mess the whole system up with resources. Especially with how I just set up to retrofit all of the mining stations as well. I expect shortages to be popping up any minute now. Did that fleet just get finished? Yes, the first defense fleet's finished. Okay, good. I want to zoom in on this system quick. Oh, there you go. You can see construction stalled due to some resource shortages. So that might have been, this ship might not even, or this station might not even have been finished. Wow, they gave me a gift. Interesting. Alright, I find it odd that they gave me a gift. What planet are we colonizing here? There's an ice moon, so it's this planet here. There's a planet in this system we're colonizing. Or, I don't know if we're colonizing it. There is a colonizable planet in this system. It says there is. It must be the ice moon. It is. Is it the ice moon? Lots of people gaining skills. Oh yeah, I am colonizing this already. Good. And I think it said our intelligent agent was done. Okay, they both are good. And he's got psyops, espionage. Okay, we want to send you back out. We'll just stick with the Your Authority. We'll keep stealing the volcanic colonization research. It's funny because we're not a large empire, but we're building very tall, I feel, because we do have a lot of planets. But I say tall because we're staying like really compact, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because planets are, and the population for planets are really only good for tax. Other than that, there's not really that much of a point in having that large of an empire that I really feel. It's really a lot about the tax. And then, yeah, it's important too because, you know, you want places for your ships to be able to go and repair and retrofit, so you can build multiple space stations. And on top of that, it's a lot easier to bring down one planet than it is to bring down a bunch of planets. Here comes the shortages and resources. That's fine. We'll catch up eventually. I knew it was gonna happen. But yeah, and then the tax is a big thing for that. So we have received the research bonus. Okay, so we're disassembling some of the ships that we built earlier, and we're getting our research bonuses for that. Man, look at those come in. I knew there was going to be a bunch of them, but that's what happens when you do a large retrofitting process, especially because we're retrofitting our fleets right now. It only makes sense that this would happen. I see that our Guardian fleet here chased something down and then kind of just hung out there. We want them back up in the area, though. Are we still a ship that's doing this? We are. 40 unbuilt. I have a feeling in a few episodes we're going to be flying that thing around, so long as everything goes good. Royal Club, great. Alright, scenery. Yeah, this place constantly gets destroyed. Should queue up another resort base, I guess. That really sucks because those resort bases actually give us the very small amount of resort bases that we have actually provide a pretty decent amount of income. Did I just see another colonizable planet? Yeah, I thought I saw it in one of these systems. I guess I didn't. That's something I'm kind of trying to keep my eye on. I do see this one over here. I don't want your technology. They always ask for a ridiculous amount of credits for these technologies, which I'm assuming are based off of how much credits you have, which, by the way, we're doing pretty good. Might turn around and build up the fleets with some of this extra credit. I'd really like to see the cash flow get balanced out, but because it doesn't seem to be hindering our actual money and affecting our economy, I'm not going to worry that much about it. I see that these guys are all retrofit. Good. Why don't you go ahead and retrofit? If you haven't yet. I'm not sure if they did, so we'll just set them up. And we'll set these guys to do some retrofitting and these guys. So I got to remember that I left off with the second landing force for retrofitting. And then you guys need to refuel, and you need to refuel. And these guys are all refueled and ready to go. Good. Sounds good. Alright, so we are at the end of this episode, kind of a little uneventful, but we did go through and upgrade all of our mining ships, which is good. We've got the game moving at a faster speed now, and even though there's a little bit of lag, it does seem to be moving along, which is nice. I really want to fast forward to getting this World Destroyer. That's kind of my plan, so I'm going to continue to, push forward and see if we can get that World Destroyer in our hands. I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll go blow up some planets. I'm thinking about declaring war on these guys soon, just for fun. We're gonna get to a point where this abandoned cruiser is pretty important. We're gonna get to a point where the game is literally gonna be unplayable because of how bad the lag is. So chances are, if we hit that point, I'll go ahead and I don't want. What I'm trying to say is I don't want to hit that point. So what I'll probably end up doing is going to war with some big empires over the course of the next couple of episodes after we get this. After we get the World Destroyer, which, by the way, 38 components unbuilt. After we get the World Destroyer, I'm probably going to go ahead and maybe declare war on some empires nearby. And who knows, maybe we push out and expand and actually do really good in these wars, or we get completely crushed. But the last thing I want to do is see the game and this playthrough end because the game becomes unplayable. So that's sort of the plan. However, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time.